listen to this episode if you are looking at the calendar and you're saying, oh boy, Christmas is coming a little too quick, and what can I be doing now in order to prepare? Now, I know this sounds a little crazy, but this is something that people are asking. This was submitted by Erin. Hello, Erin. Thank you so much for your question. And this is something that we should be thinking about in July, in August, and I'm going to dive in today to what you should be thinking about now, what this timeline kind of looks like, and some other holiday season kind of just info to answer Erin's question, as well as to give a little bit more info here as well. Hello. Welcome to the Small Business Growth Podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Madison Page. I'm a business growth specialist, and I help product-based businesses stand out and sell out on social media by building a ride or die community around their brand. But we teach in a fun conversational type of way over here. We're talking raw and real, genuine business advice. I like to say it's kind of like sipping coffee with a biz bestie, and you are sitting right across from me over there as well. If you want to actually drink your coffee face to face with me, you can head on over to YouTube and watch this episode over on YouTube as well. That is new in the last couple of months. And I don't know, I've been really loving watching my podcast, not my podcast, but podcasts that I listen to on YouTube. It just feels like you actually, I don't know, feels like a little bit of a vlog, feels like it's just a little bit more input. Maybe that's just my social media addiction, but who knows? I've been liking it. So head on over and you can subscribe to us over there as well. Small Business Growth Pod and Madison Page over there as well. So to give some context on these Friday episodes, these coaching session episodes, they are questions submitted by listeners that we kind of cover, and I like to dive in here. If you have a question, you can also go into the show notes and click the link there as well. You can submit your question and I might answer it on next week's coaching session. This question is submitted by Erin. The context is, holidays are coming. Would you recommend keeping the same offer through all of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, or are other offers better? Trying to really have a great holiday season, and it's already on my mind. And I want to add into this of just like, what can you be doing right now? So when we kind of look at the timeline of the holidays, people say that they make their first purchase in October for Christmas. I know it's July. I know we have 6 months until Christmas. As I'm recording this, there's like literally almost 6 months to the day until Christmas. And I am already starting to gather a list, start thinking about what I'm buying, everybody. I have all of my family has all of their birthdays and everything in the beginning half of the year. So I have Christmas and then everybody's birthday. Now I have 6 months to gather a list and come up with some good ideas before Christmas. So people start to make their first purchases in October. So when we start to think about this, is we need to really be preparing and starting to plan in August and September. And when you're thinking about this, you're listening to this maybe in July is when it's coming out. June and July are historically and statistically slower times for e-commerce, slower times for social media, because people are outside, they're enjoying life, they're enjoying the nicer weather, they're saving for their vacations, they're doing other things. And so how I like to really think about this is June and July are your strategy, your behind the scenes, and your months to do the things that you don't always do elsewhere or other times, because you have so many other things going on. Because June and July are statistically slower sales months, we should use this time to really develop it, use it to build strategy, use it to learn things, to develop your website, to do more email funnels, the behind the scenes stuff that we kind of always put on the back burner because we're like, oh, we'll get there someday. We are thinking of these months as improvements. June and July are for improvements. August and September are for planning and prep for the holidays. What are you going to be selling? When are you going to be doing these incentives? And how can we really start planning? And so then in October, the incentives that you're giving them, October, November, and December, are times to sell, as well as to have a little bit of time in there for nurturing as well. Now, if you know anything about what I teach, is there's 3 phases in the buying cycle: growing, branding, selling. Growing, nurturing, selling. Are you getting new people into your audience? Are you building a stronger community? Or are you actually actively selling something? So because November and December are pretty heavy sales months, like selling, we need to really focus in these months prior to on that nurturing, and we need to have a solid calendar in order to not let our audience feel a little burnt out of too much selling. If you think about it, there's so much other noise going on at this time that you selling is not a shock to people. So it's okay to sell pretty hard in November and December. So if we are starting to sell for the holidays in October, you need a lot more incentives than just Black Friday through Cyber Monday. So Erin's question is, should we keep the same offer through all of Black Friday or Cyber Monday, or are different offers better, trying to have a really great holiday season? So I can answer this question for sure, but we're thinking of the holiday season as kind of a bigger overarching topic and kind of giving you just a little bit more detail just because we're here and we're talking about it. We want to have more offers than just Cyber Monday through Black Friday. Now, that doesn't mean you need to have a discount, you need to have a free gift, and you need to be like doing all of these things all of the times. There's other strategies that you can use that you can still be giving an incentive, you can still be getting people to buy. That doesn't necessarily have to be discounting or giving stuff away for free. And so we want to have a lot of these, a lot more incentives, whether it's, having restocks, having free gifts, having bundles, having limited edition items, having more things, more selling, pretty much all of November and December and a little bit of the end of October, especially if you are a company that sells a lot of stuff in the fall, like candles. Let's say you're a candle company, your business really is go, 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 go from August at the latest. Even July, I have some businesses that work in July on fall things. And so you kind of have a go, go, go time from there. You need to be able to really have a solid plan and understand when you're nurturing your audience, when you're taking a break, and what those incentives are. So Black Friday through Cyber Monday, honestly, at this point, I would almost rather you do, if you're only going to do one sale, I would rather it be the week before Black Friday or Cyber Monday, or the week after, or 2 weeks prior to, some other time if you're only going to do one kind of weekend of sales. Why that is because everybody and their brother is selling on that weekend, that it's actually really hard to stand out. So what you're trying to do is you're actually trying to stand out earlier than the rest of these people, because we're trying to get in there a little early as well. So you can have the same, I think it's totally fine to have the same incentive that weekend. Otherwise, you could also have a lot of fun with it where, you're doing something different every day, and then maybe you're not announcing it. And so on Friday, you announce, okay, it's 20% off all day. Saturday, they get a free limited edition tote bag if they shop on Saturday. And then people are like, shoot, I want that tote bag. Let me go in and we can purchase again. And you can kind of change it all weekend long. There really is truly, I think this could be a little controversial, but there really is no rhyme or reason to how and when all of these plans are out there. Now, there is a strategy behind it, but at the end of the day, for today's sake of what we're talking about, you can do anything you want Black Friday through Cyber Monday. There's so much noise. It's hard to stand out. It can still be very worth it for you, but I find that small businesses get a little lost on Black Friday through Cyber Monday. The small businesses, when you have a smaller-ish community, you're not in all these big box stores, you're not like a name, like a around the home kind of home brand that you have. A lot of times I feel that it's actually better to have sales at other times. So there's so much to say here. I will be diving more into holiday stuff as we keep on going. Follow me on Instagram at This Is Madison Page, and I'll be talking about my holiday masterclasses, my holiday support. We'll start getting into that in August and September a little bit more as we start to plan. So follow me on Instagram at This Is Madison Page. And if you don't, I'm on my stories all day long. We're having some fun over on Instagram. Come hang out with us there as well. Come follow us at This Is Madison Page to stay in tune for the holiday stuff. Honestly, the holiday season is such a time where I just like to give and give and give, because I know your life is so busy that we really do a lot of support options through that time. Even we're going live a lot more often and all of that as well. So you really, kind of to recap here, you want to have a variety of offers throughout the months of October, November, and December. We don't just want to think of your holiday sales as just that one weekend, because naturally, during this time, people are shopping for a little bit more of a deal. They're shopping for practical purchases. They're shopping to all-in-one, like all-encompassing kind of places. And like, we're already making tallies in our mind, even in July or June, of what we're going to be buying people. And so you want to have a lot of incentives. You honestly, when it comes to Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you can do whatever the heck you want. If you want to do 20% off that whole weekend, if you want to do a different offer every day, honestly, I like to use use this time as a great time to see what your audience responds well to through the whole holidays. Some audiences will respond really well to discounts. Some audiences are going to respond really well to free gifts. Some audiences are going to respond really well to scarcity and limited edition items. And when we can do this, when you have so many people buying at one time, it's a great time to see which incentive performs the best. So I like to come at that kind of from a research standpoint and kind of just mix them up throughout the whole season, but you want to have multiple. That doesn't mean you need to have a sale going all day long. That doesn't mean you need to have anything in particular, but I would like to say every 7 to 10 to 14 days, depending on the time of the year. It's kind of a rhyme or reason of which time of year we're talking about. That would be kind of my overall kind of incentive schedule. So right now, what you can do to really prepare for this is starting to learn strategy. If you aren't making online sales right now, just because more people are buying for the holidays doesn't mean that all of a sudden your marketing is going to start selling because more people are buying. If people aren't buying, like still kind of at least a little consistently on your social media yet, that doesn't mean just because the holidays are here, people are going to start. You need to learn how to sell prior to the holidays. So June and July and August, great times to kind of dive in to learning how to do this. September, October, November, so at least August and September are kind of planning months. October, November, and December is go time. Like if you are just planning your holiday offers in the middle of October or the middle of November or like the week before Black Friday, you are a little behind. So we want to get ahead of that. And especially if things are slow right now, let's get ahead of these holiday stuff. Let's start making a plan and seeing what you really want to do and how you want to have fun. So the holidays are literally the most important time of year to have a social strategy nailed down. It's the difference between having a sold out but yet happy and fun holiday season with so many sales, hitting the new year and ending ending this year on a high note, hitting the new year with big goals and feeling excited about it, and being kind of busy and actually still super overwhelmed because your business isn't working, you're behind in your life, and you're doing all of these other things as well. And so if you plan early, you have a social strategy that you know is going to work and you feel really solid on how to get people to buy, then now is the time to really learn that, because we need to have it dialed, we need to have it implemented, we need to have it understood by the holidays. So if you're already starting to think about the holidays and you're saying, Maddie, what can I do? How can I do that? Then you can start learning strategy now. You can start learning how to really make more sales. You can start doing more things behind the scenes, but you can learn how to launch stuff. You can learn how to do, how to have email funnels. You can learn social media. You can learn so many different areas. You can revamp your website, all of these different things. How can you actually go back and really look at all of that? Okay. And so that is what you can do now. These 3 months of October, November, and December should be the most strategic time of year for you. So it takes some time to learn prior to and to plan there as well. I hope this was helpful for you, Erin. I know I answered a little bit more than what you asked here. Your major question just being around Black Friday to Cyber Monday, but I felt like I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't cover kind of the whole calendar here, because Black Friday and Cyber Monday are absolutely important, especially for product-based businesses, especially if you have a very giftable product. But we want to look at it as a whole. That weekend is really tough for small businesses to stand out because Target and Walmart and Costco and everybody else has all of this crazy stuff going on. That yes, Small Business Saturday is in there, which I do always recommend people post and like do things for on that day. But what we're looking at here is we need to look at the holiday season is basically October through December, and there's some different kind of categories in there as well. Like I said, if you are wanting to get a head start on your holiday season, I would learn strategies now. The strategies that I would be learning now, if you don't already have it, the Breakthrough Content Lab is my course to teach you how to sell on social media and how to really finally understand social media in order to make your sales, in order to make your community online. If you're struggling with your social, my Breakthrough Content Lab is perfect there. If you are wanting to learn how to make consistent sales online and you want a selling course, this is deeper. That we talk about social media, but that's just one element. It works directly with me. We will start in August. You can check that out and apply on my website as well. And we will start in September for that. And we will learn through this whole process together. Otherwise, come follow me on Instagram at This Is Madison Page. I always have a holiday masterclass, and I'm going to have some extra holiday support this year, which is something that is going to be really, really fun, and I can't wait to implement it there as well. I hope you have a great day. Erin, thank you so much for your question. If other people that are listening also have a question you would like me to answer, no matter what that question is, click the link in the show notes and I would love to answer it there. If you have any other questions for me, come over to my Instagram at This Is Madison Page. How many times can I say that today? Go over there and we can chat there as well. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm rooting for you and I'm in your corner always. I will chat with you very soon.